Rain or shine, we weren't going to miss an opportunity to announce something very exciting and transformative to the city of St. Petersburg and to, come on up, transformative to the city of St. Petersburg and to the Midtown community. About 8 months ago, we heard from Del Hayes Corporation, which is an organization out of Belgium, that they were closing over 50 stores in the city, or in the state of Florida, 3 of which were in the city of St. Petersburg, one of which was right here in the Tangerine redevelopment area of St. Petersburg in the heart of Midtown. And while it came as a blow, a lot of members of the community got together. We prayed. We had a press conference, and it's the same members of the community that are standing with me today to reveal what is probably the worst kept secret in the city of St. Petersburg, but to reveal a great new opportunity for the city. It took many, many great partners in the city. It took the resilience of Larry Newsom, the president of UDS, who's the landlord. It took city staff, who is the fee simple owner of this piece of property. It took the members of Sweet Bay, executives from Sweet Bay, who was the tenant at the time, and other community partners that I will reveal after the announcement. But this is truly an exciting time. It is an exciting time in the city of St. Petersburg, and you'll hear other variations of that that well-deserved opening. But at this time, I'd like to introduce Larry Newsom, the president of UDS, to make a formal announcement.
Good afternoon. Well, I tell you, this is another great day in St. Petersburg.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about.
Yeah. I'd like to formally announce that we've executed a lease agreement with Walmart to become the tenant in our store. And they announced earlier, I believe, that they had signed a lease with us. And so I'm here, as much as anything else, to thank them for agreeing to partner with us to bring a full-service supermarket back to Midtown. And what I honestly do believe in my bones that this is an excellent fit for this community and for Walmart, and that this store is going to be successful for many, many years to come. Not only is it going to be a success unto itself, but it's going to be the anchor that allows a lot of other good things around it to happen as well. So I'm very excited about our future. I see this as a completely new beginning. While I'm at it, though, I'd like to thank Sweet Bay for 2 things. First, I'd like to thank them for partnering with us in the first place, because the reason Walmart is coming today is because Sweet Bay came in the beginning. And so I'd really like to thank them for participating in this venture with us. And I'd also like to thank them for facilitating the transition to Walmart. Believe me, they were partners in getting this transaction to happen as well. Very significant and important partners, so I would like to thank them. I would also like to thank my staff for a lot of hard work. I know we're making this announcement today, but we've been working on this transaction since early March, and it's been a long and arduous process to get where we are today, so I'm very happy to say that they hung in there with us all the way. And I'd also like to thank some community partners that jumped in and almost right from the beginning. Bill Edwards and his group with Mayor Rick Baker, Craig Scherer and the Assembler Company. I mean, those guys were right there with us from March through today, step by step with us, working both with Walmart and with Sweet Bay to get the deal done. We didn't have to do one transaction. We had to do 2. We had to do a deal with Walmart for a new lease, and we also had to do a deal with Sweet Bay for the termination of their lease, both of which things required a lot of work, and we got a lot of support and input from those guys, so I'd like to personally thank them. And we had other community leaders that have been supporting us all the way. Watson Haynes with the Urban League, the NAACP. We just had the school board. We just had a lot of people that have been out there supporting us in this effort. And I'm just happy to say it culminated into something that I consider will be a very good long-term fit for this community.
There's a lot of people to thank in this, and certainly Larry Newsom and his commitment to the city of St. Petersburg and what he has done with the city at another parcel here with bringing in Sylvia's Soul Food Restaurant, a destination soul food restaurant out of Harlem, and revival of this Manhattan casino. That's another small, not so small task that he has undertaken in partnership with the city. But we have a lot of partners, and I do want to publicly thank former Mayor Rick Baker, because he was really the architect of Tangerine Plaza. He was the architect and I was on the city council serving with him, but really the architect to make sure that we had a grocery store for the citizens of Midtown, to make sure that we had affordable products and fresh food. And, when Sweet Bay, and I talked about a lot of prayer, and I'm going to say that again, when Sweet Bay announced that, or Del Hayes and Sweet Bay announced that they were closing this site, Larry and I drove all the way to Gainesville to talk to some executives to try to talk them out of it. And there was no dissuading Sweet Bay from this decision that they had already made. But you know what? God is good.
Hallelujah.
And, it wasn't our will, but certainly a lot of divine intervention and a lot of great partners, including those that have been mentioned earlier, that will bring a Walmart neighborhood grocery store to Midtown. Almost 100 jobs that will be created. And they're opening in October a temporary hiring center across the street, located at 1201 22nd Street South. They will start hiring and training so the new employees can begin work here in December, getting the store ready to open. They also have a commitment, Walmart has a commitment to veteran hiring. So any veteran that has served and is honorably discharged within the past 12 months has a job. And this is Walmart's commitment to our veterans as well. Great organization. But as Larry talked about, UDS is the landlord. Sweet Bay was the tenant. And Sweet Bay, even after they left, they were a non-breaching party. So Sweet Bay had to be negotiated with. The city of St. Petersburg as a partner, owner of the underlying fee, and then certainly Walmart coming in. A lot of moving parts to this puzzle. Craig Scher was mentioned, but Similar Corporation and J.P. Gazzardo. Mr. Scher wanted me to make sure that I specifically recognized J.P. and his volunteer efforts to really secure Walmart. From my staff, Rick Mussett, Joe Zioli, Bruce Grimes, the city's legal team, an ongoing commitment from Rick Dunn. When I sat down with Walmart executives a few weeks ago, they wanted a commitment from this city as to streamlining the process of permitting and plan reviews to open up. And I said to them, and I committed to them, you want to do a midnight concrete pour, we can do it. We'll be right there. You need an inspection at 3 a.m., I'll be there. In a hard hat with my team, we will accommodate all your needs. Chris Ballester was also a part of that as well. So a lot of really great partners in this. One of the other partners is the Urban League, and I'd like to invite Watson Haynes to just give a little perspective.
It's a signature day, because while we regretted Sweet Bay's decision, those of us in this community got together with the mayor, and the first thing the mayor wanted to do, instead of figure out how to make this happen, was he wanted to pray about it. We prayed, we called a press conference, and we were on task in terms of making this happen. I want to thank my board of directors of the Urban League, for Charles Day, who's our incoming chairman, who's Vice President Ceridian, and Jeff Worthy, who is a member of the Urban League Board of Directors and is a manager of Walmart. Jeff and of course the other folk have had me to be silent. And that was, I was reading the newspaper about things that happened here, and they said, well, you still can't talk. And I talked to the mayor, and the mayor said, well, you can't say it yet. I'm glad to say it. The Urban League has been involved in jobs with this project. We have been involved even with the structuring of the upcoming job fairs. Cindy Myrick Robinson, who's there with the umbrella and the dress, Cindy Myrick Robinson heads our task force that deals with the jobs for those people who have a desire to work at Walmart. But let me just thank this mayor for his tenacity. He never gave up. He stuck to it, and he convinced folk that it was going to happen, and it's happening. And thanks to my fraternity brother Larry Newsom for making it a reality. You know, there's hope in this community. And this shows that this store is going to take off. The numbers that were here already will benefit the Walmart that's going to be here, and the growth of St. Petersburg College, and what's going to take off within the next few weeks is going to show you that this community will be able to take care of this store. And I will be one of the same people who I supported the supermarket when it was here. I will put my money in this Walmart and feed my family. Thank you, Mayor.
It is so interesting that we come full circle in all that we do, because Bill and I did serve with the mayor when we initially began planning what it was that we saw as a dream and a vision for this entire community. And it is so very befitting that we are here today to make the announcement to the community that we kept our promise. We are promise keepers, and we will have a store where individuals can buy fresh goods and services and not have to worry about catching a cab or a bus to be able to achieve those things. I just want to share on behalf of the Pinellas County School Board that we are super excited. We have a vocational technical institute that trains persons for customer service. This is a perfect opportunity for us to make sure that those persons become employed here at this store. We have a commitment as it relates to health and nutrition for our children. Yet again, this is one way that we get to keep that promise. So to Mayor Bill Foster, to Craig Scher, to former Mayor Rick Baker, to Watson Haynes, definitely to Larry Newsom, someone who has stayed with us and stuck with us from the beginning. And I will tell you, some years ago, it wasn't easy structuring this deal. And it wasn't easy selling people on the vision that this community deserved the very best. But we stuck with it, we stuck to it, and we are giving our community the very best.
I would like to congratulate everybody who worked on this. You know, I would ask with some regularity when, and it was always soon, you know, because you couldn't do the one deal until you had both deals done. But I think what's important is that just for the same reason that this was important to open it up originally, you can't turn around these neighborhoods without a good grocery store. And the good news is that the 22nd Street corridor is in the process of being turned around. From the Sylvia's at the other end to to immediately north of Sylvia's, you're seeing the Warehouse Arts District. In fact, there's a brewery that's opening up there. At 22nd Street and 9th Avenue South, what were the two worst buildings on the corridor have just been renovated, and the Brayboy family has announced the businesses they're opening there. Now that Larry has this nailed down, he can get to work on the land across the street that he's gonna. I don't want you to feel any pressure, but you know the good news is there are things going on, and we are moving forward. It's not how many times you're knocked down in life, it's how many times you get back up. And so for everybody who got back up, congratulations.
A long time ago, long before I even got on council, people smarter than me thought out to have a plan. Because you need a plan. You know, without a plan, you don't know where you're going. And the Midtown Initiative was just that plan. And that initiative, along with the Child's Park Initiative that was approved by City Council subsequent, actually the same City Council, was a plan and a way to go forth. They went out and took interviews and spent time with all the stakeholders to see what they wanted to make this city whole, and all the work and stuff that went into that. So I would say from this day, I really appreciate Walmart coming. They threw out my district. They're on 38th Avenue South, they're on 1st Avenue North and 34th Street, and now they're here in Midtown, providing jobs and opportunities for people to grow and feed their families. and also the families that are around here to be able to get fresh fruits and vegetables, and also be able to get enough food that they can walk and get instead of having 12 kids on a bus, each with a bag. So that's very important. But we also need to learn this important lesson. Everything we fought so hard to get in this Midtown area that a lot of people didn't want to come to. You're looking at a credit union across the street. You had a grocery store here previously. We have to fight just as hard to keep it here. You know, all this is great when you go out to the fact and rumble up everything, but you need to take a snapshot of now. Look at all the things that we have now, from where we came to where we are now, and know that the value of what we have here need to be protected by any means necessary. And everybody that was involved in this endeavor, stay on guard. Don't let it happen and then have to come back and redo it, because we didn't suffer. The city still got their lease payments. Larry still got paid by Sweet Bay, but the people around this store could not eat. I went in little small stores that had bread for $4 and milk for $5 at convenience stores. That's the kind of things that happen when we have this kind of things to allow a business like this to go away. We fight hard for businesses throughout the city of St. Pete. A lot of them come to council for help. And we got to be proactive and make sure that all of them that come to St. Pete throughout this entire city stay in this city. That's what we need to do going forward. So I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the media. You was there for the good, the bad, and now back for the good. You know, the people, also the people that's watching, support the store. You have to support what you want to stay in your community too. I always shop at Walmart. I shop at Walmart. I shop at Publix. I patronize every business in this city. And that's what we all should do. God bless you.
A lot of the people that live in this community that are like myself, live on fixed incomes, they will be able to come here and purchase good quality food. And it is just so wonderful to think that a lot of the people that are unemployed, they will be able to go up the street there and secure a job. This is a wonderful day, and I personally, as the grassroots community activist, would like to thank Walmart. I'd like to thank the mayor. I'd like to thank my tall man, Mayor Rick Baker, and especially, I call him the bodyguard of Midtown, Mr. Larry Newsom. This man has heart for all areas, and he don't toot his horn. But if we had more men that would raise to the occasion and take on the projects to serve the people, where it's really not about them, but it's all about helping people. Thank you, Walmart.
I'm Sophia Sorolis. I'm part of the partnership that's bringing the greenhouse to you, and this is our beautiful greenhouse. This is a unique partnership between the City of St. Petersburg and the Chamber of Commerce, and basically the message is we're partnering in order to make this really the hub, the place that you come. If you have a question about business, if you want to start a business, if you want to grow a business, expand a business. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the person that thought of the concept, came up with the name, and has facilitated our partnership, and that would be Mayor Foster. Please help me welcome him.
Welcome to the greenhouse. Nobody called the fire marshal. We've never had this many people in the greenhouse, but we'll make do. I'm certainly glad you're here. I'm honored to be standing before you at this, really at the inception of some great partnerships. And as Sophia said, okay, I came up with a name, but that was really the easy part. The hard part was to make sure that we had partners and that we could really take what we had at the Business Assistance Center. And not knocking the BAC that we had, it was all about business and startups and making sure that it was the one-stop shop for business evolution. And that was all good. But, you know, I started noticing as we would go to ribbon cuttings, there was this guy, you know, with big scissors. We came with little scissors. This guy came with big scissors. And his name was Chris Steinacher. And I always wondered why he was at the same ribbon cuttings as I was. And then we started talking, and because, you know, earlier, we weren't really sure. I mean, the chamber was under some different leadership and had some issues. And so it wasn't until we got Chris Steinacher and he re-energized the board and the chamber got refocused. And Chris is a brilliant mind when it comes to all things business. So we sat down, we started talking. We started thinking, how can we work together, the city and the chamber? So yes, we're both at the same ribbon cutting, but we helped together make sure that that business opened, make sure that we had that ribbon cutting. So we started thinking about startups and how we could make sure that we had, ooh, there's the big scissors. Those must be the chamber scissors. Did I lie? So we started thinking about, yes, the startups and how you can plant a seed in the greenhouse. You fertilize it, you educate it, you water it, you talk to it, you sing to it, and it grows, okay? And we don't sing to our businesses, but you get the idea. And it's education. It's making sure that we create entrepreneurs, that we create opportunities for networking, that we can combine Eckerd College and SCORE, St. Pete College, USF, Gazelle Labs is here represented, USF School of Business, St. Pete. So we have the academics, and that we're making entrepreneurs, that so people may decide that, yeah, you know what, I'm not an entrepreneur yet, but I want to learn more, and so maybe they take a pause and get prepared so they don't make mistakes, but when they are ready, that they're successful, that we help them get through permitting and grease traps and all of these things when it comes to opening the business. And then, so we took it a step further. We said, we got a lot of businesses that didn't go through the BAC. They're not a chamber member. Let's educate them to make sure that, yes, they're a sole practitioner, or they have 5 employees. How can we help them grow? Okay, greenhouse. So how can we get them from 5 to 10 employees? How can we get them from that sole practitioner into something exciting and big and wonderful? How can we still match them with the SBA, and they're here, John, wave your hand. So how can we get them financing so they can grow? And then we kind of went to, now let's think big. How, with all of the synergy, all of the high-tech people, the 3D printer, which I think is very cool and scary at the same time, how can we relocate businesses to St. Petersburg? How can we recruit and have this environment, an exciting, thriving environment? How can we start recruiting and making jobs here? Why would anyone, and I see Stu Rogel in the back, I'm going to say it anyway, why would anyone want to go to Tampa when they can open up a business in St. Pete? Yeah.
The last 3.5 years in this area have just been very exciting. The whole entrepreneurial ecosystem has just exploded in all of Tampa Bay. And having been involved in a small way in a number of these programs, Gazelle Labs, Tampa Bay 620 plan, and several other things, it's just been very rewarding to see how all of this is developing. The greenhouse is an important addition to that. It actually meets the needs of some groups that maybe have been very interested, but we're now reaching out to them. Part of the greenhouse program, some of the partners in this, we're going to go all the way from having kids in high school doing entrepreneurial programs here. The baby boomers are going to be doing entrepreneurial programs here. If you want to start some sort of a shop, everything is here that you need to have. For example, the Entrepreneurial Academy, which is already running here, is like, what, a 12-week program, and covers all the various aspects in detail of what you need to do to start a business and things that you may not be aware of. I've talked to a number of people who've been through that program, and they said, we didn't even know what we didn't know until we went through it. So this, that program is just one of many that we have that are addressing the needs of every part of the community. So this is very exciting for St. Petersburg and for all of Tampa Bay.
Well, really, the whole idea is to engage each other. So after the mayor cuts the ribbon, we invite you to continue on networking, meeting with the partners, asking questions, coming up with ideas. But from all of us, we just want to say thank you again for coming, and we look forward to seeing you again and again here in the greenhouse.
Oh, I think the greenhouse is fabulous for the community. It's a way to pull together all the different partners within the area that support small business and innovation and economic growth and become the one-stop shop for anybody, small business that's looking to get help. They can connect them to the right organizations that are out there to support them.
The way this is going to help is that I'm going to be one of the facilitators here, part of the dream team of local professionals that are going to offer networking advice, resume advice, how to interview more effectively, and specialized advice to people who are 50 and over who don't want to just retire, they want to refire.
I've been asked to kind of talk about the new retirement and new financial retirement for retirees, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I think it's very forward-thinking for St. Petersburg to kind of understand that, it's no longer you work till age 65, get a gold watch, and retire for 10 years. People are going to be spending 20, 30 years in retirement. I think they're going to be, a period of stage where they will kind of retire, travel for a year or two, but then that they'll be interested in going back to a workforce, turning a hobby into a second career, something that maybe they've always wanted to do but never did. So it's a huge transition, and I think Encore is going to be a big part of kind of training that population for that next chapter in their life.
And I'm going to be starting a great program in the greenhouse called the Encore Academy. And it's all about helping boomers and beyond to identify what's next for them in this second half of life.
We're actually working with the greenhouse to provide some of the technology development to take this 3D print technology, which is very exciting out in industry and out in commerce, as a way to do both new product development and entrepreneurial activities. We're both providing some of the technical backbone and support to enable this for the greenhouse. But then we're also marrying in some of our robotic technologies for being able to control materials, to expand the printing technologies that the greenhouse will have. So it will be a first of a kind in the country, the ability to be able to print multiple materials. The current print technology is limited to one or two. We're working on the platform that we're working with the greenhouse platform on to be able to take that technology and make it into 7 or 8 materials. This would allow potential users to be able to print more lifelike, more complex systems, more authentic systems that could actually, they can then evaluate and or use as product in promotion for their business. And then it can couple into the entrepreneurial help that the greenhouse also provides.
Basically, USF St. Pete's entrepreneurship program focuses on high-growth entrepreneurial firms and also using our students in engaging themselves in the community. So not only are we excited for ourselves and what's going on with the greenhouse, but we're also excited for the opportunity for our students.